Hello and welcome to a special edition of SAE Tomorrow Today, the mini episode. I am your host, Grayson Brulte. Next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming when we launch our 2021 series featuring ChargePoint Senior Vice President of Product, Bill Lowenthal. Bill will be on to discuss the future of mass adoption of electric vehicles, charging infrastructure, and why ChargePoint is a technology company. During this mini episode, we wanted to take a moment to say thank you. And seriously, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for your wonderful comments and your feedback for listening to SAE Tomorrow Today during 2020 and making this podcast a huge success. What we want to do on this mini episode is give you a glimpse at what 2021 has to offer. During 2020, we've shared some really interesting conversations with innovative leaders and frankly great people, such as Mark Moore of Uber Elevate, Rhonda Walthall of Collins Aerospace, and Eric Bach of Lucid Motors, along with Tony Janko, an aviation mechanic and retired safety infrastructure. The really cool thing about all these individuals that they had in common, they had stories. Tony told stories of his time at the FAA and having to investigate a crash. Rhonda told us stories about how predictive analytics can make your plane arrive on time. Eric Bach was really cool and told us how they can engineer the new Lucid Air electric vehicle. And Mark Moore, Mark's awesome. Mark's building the future of VTOL. He wrote the NASA and Puffin paper. And without Mark, there's a really clear-cut conclusion that we wouldn't be where we are with VTOL. So thank you, Mark, and thank you, Rhonda and Eric and Tony, for all your wonderful insights that you shared with us. Their conversations provided eye-opening insights. They took us behind the curtain, the people who are creating the technology. They showed us who they are as humans. They showed us how they're doing this. We also discussed where the future mobility is heading, the mechanics, the technology behind it, and the importance of safety will transform the way we travel. Safety is really important, and we were honored really early on in the series to feature Dr. Mark Rosekind, Chief Innovation Safety Officer at Zoox, where he talked about his time of leading NHTSA and why Zoox is a safety-first culture. It was really insightful stories that we were able there. From there, we went and we covered land to air, the advancements of the industry. Aerospace, we featured Tom Weiss from Ariane building supersonic jets. We're going all over the map. We want to have really interesting conversations with interesting individuals that are going on to change the world. In upcoming episodes this season, we're going to be joined by SwiftMile, Luminar, McLaren Engines, and many other individuals that are changing the way we drive, the way we fly, the way we get to one place to another. And frankly, they're all making society a better place, and they're creating jobs and doing really great things. But this isn't the only way that SAE keeps you ahead of the curve. To keep up with the twists and turns, the acceleration of the mobile industry, subscribe to SAE Smart Brief. You'll receive the latest articles and updates, news and announcements right to your inbox. To subscribe and sign up, please visit bit.ly/SAE_PODCAST. I repeat, bit.ly/SAE_podcast to subscribe now. It's really great content. It's extremely, extremely well curated, and it's interesting. There's something there for everybody, and I highly encourage you to check it out. And if you want to check it out, you may view a sample issue at sae.org/smartbrief. I repeat, that is sae.org/smartbrief. We also encourage you to expand your mobility knowledge at one of our engineering events this year, most of which is swifted to the digital platforms due to the current state of the world. But even though they're on a digital platform, they're still engaging, they're thought-provoking, because SAE has this unique ability to bring individuals together, to have meaningful conversations, to give them the tools that they need to go on to engineer the future of the world. From Connect to Car at CES to WCX and Aerotech, we look forward to connecting with you in 2021. Be sure to check out a series of lineups at sae.org/attend. That's sae.org/attend to discover what's coming next and how you can interact and attend an event. Perhaps it's a digital-only event, a hybrid event, or at some point, hopefully, an in-person event. SAE is there for you. We will help you transform, pivot, and innovate in staying on the leading edge by being a resource for you. 2020 was a really interesting year. We learned a lot. We heard a lot of great stories. We had a lot of amazing conversations with some of the individuals I mentioned earlier in this, but we also had conversations that help companies transform. How did you pivot? How did you do this? How did you take a negative and turn it into a positive? And we really look forward to having more of these conversations as we go into 2021. We'll have conversations around how did you pivot during COVID? How are you increasing your revenue? What is your path to profitability? And then we're also going to dive more into the human aspect. We're going to dive into STEM education. We're going to have conversations with individuals that had mentors that are now mentoring children in these certain life-changing moments that had a profound impact on their life. We're going behind the headlines. We're going behind the stories to really, how did this individual get here? What are they doing? How are they transforming society? And how are they doing good in society? So we're really looking forward to doing more of that in 2021. If you really have enjoyed these episodes over this past 12 months, we please kindly hope that you'll reach out to us, please, at podcast@sae.org to let us know what topics you'd like to explore next. Is there a new innovative company that we might not have spoken to? Is there new technology bubbling up? Is there a really cool engineering problem that you think that we should talk to an individual? Reach out to us. Let us know. We'd love to engage with those individuals and dive deep and have those conversations. And to stay in touch with us at all times, be sure to please follow SAE on LinkedIn. That's SAE on LinkedIn to stay connected and continue the conversation. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're on LinkedIn and when we post one of the episodes and you have a comment or a question about it, write to us, comment on it. We're happy to respond. And we love the engagement. We love the feedback. But most importantly, thank you so, so much for listening. Without the listeners, this would not be possible. Thank you so, so much. And may we have a completely wonderful 2021. And thank you again.